another sci-fi guy here, and today we're going to be reviewing the Doctor Who episode The End of the World, Season 1, Episode 2. Now, I have been going through my new steelbook of Season 1, which looks phenomenal, with art by Lee Binding. It's the first time I've got to watch the episode on Blu-ray, and it looks really good. Let's start off with the effects. The effects definitely don't look as good as they do now. They still look fine. I mean, the episode came out in 2005. They look good, but of course time has passed, technology's better, and the show has a much bigger budget now. Because when Doctor Who Series 1 came out, nobody knew if it was going to be a hit or not. It had been so long since the classic series had been out and been on the air. And the one time they tried to reboot it before, in 96, the backdoor pilot movie had failed. So nobody quite knew what the new series was going to do, so it had a lower budget. But it works. I like the special effects in it. They're fine. They look good. I enjoy them. They're definitely not what we get now, but they pass, and I like it. And the important thing to me is the writing. The episode, it's one of Russell's episodes, and it's written really well. There's a lot of really good dialogue. There's a lot of good action going on. It's another phenomenal episode and a great follow-up to the first episode, which if you haven't seen my review for, you can click right here, see my review for it. It picks up immediately after Rose, with Rose running into the TARDIS, and the episode Rose. It picks up right after the episode Rose, with her running into the TARDIS, and him letting her basically pick if she wants to go to the future or the past. And I love that little scene right there. The little dialogue and interchange with them in the TARDIS. It's really fun. It gets you pumped. They have good chemistry, Chris and Billy together. I really enjoy watching them together, Nine and Rose. And just that exchange right there is really fun to watch. And then seeing them get on the ship and meeting all of the characters. I really enjoy the interactions between the Doctor and Rose in this, and they vary. I like when Rose when she sees all the aliens, she kind of has culture shock because she's not used to that, and then it kind of hits her hard. And then, of course, her realizing she doesn't really know the Doctor. He's kind of a stranger. And them having to talk about that, where she wants to know where he's from, and he didn't really want to talk about it. And their interactions at the end, which we'll get to. It's really well paced. Not knowing who the villains are. Other characters not making it all the way through the episode. One of the things I love about Doctor Who, classic Doctor Who especially, is he can't save everybody. People die. People die in this show. You watch the classic series like the horror at Fang Rock. Lots of people die. He can't save everybody. One of the reasons why in The Doctor Dances, when everybody does live, it's such a big deal to him, and he's so happy about it. And even in this one, we have characters that they're written well enough, even though we don't get much time with them, that when we die, it has a bit of an impact. One of the workers Rose talks to who dies, the steward, and one of the other characters that the Doctor gets close with, her death is meaningful, it's impactful. And that's really well done with characters that we don't get to spend much time with. I really enjoy Christopher Eccleston. He's so good at flipping between serious and happy. I love how his Doctor does that. Because when his Doctor's having a good time, he's so happy. That scene when all of the aliens are coming in and introducing themselves, and he's just kind of there enjoying himself, having a good time. That I give you air from my lungs. And that's fun. That's a funny scene. And you see him smiling and laughing as everybody's coming in and talking, and he's enjoying himself. And Chris has that really wonderful smile. He has that Tom Baker smile. And I love that. I love that he just has that big grin like Tom Baker has. And that's fantastic. You can tell that when he's happy, he's genuinely happy. I know some people think that's a mask he's wearing. I don't. I think he's genuinely enjoying himself right there. He's able to forget about all the Time War stuff. And it's nice to see that. But I also like at the end of the episode, when all the stuff has gone down, he gets serious. And he gets mad. And you see some of that scarring he's gone through. Some of the Time War scarring, the post-traumatic stress. You know, when he's talking about, oh, I'm bristling with ideas, and he uncovers who the villain is, brings them back, and basically lets them die. The person who's responsible, he lets them die. He could save them, and I think even later doctors like Matt Smith, Capaldi, I think they probably would save them. Not Eccleston. He has a lot going on. He's had enough. He's done. People have died because of this. Everything has its time, and everything dies, as he says. And then he just turns and walks off with that look on his face, and it's so well done. And then, of course, the end, when him and Rose back on Earth, and this is, of course, when we first find out for the first time about the fate of Gallifrey, which isn't named, but his home planet. We find out about the fate of the Time Lords. And there was foreshadowing of that when he was talking with Jade, the tree girl, when she mentions how it's a miracle he exists and she's so sorry for everything. That was our first inkling that something wasn't right. It wasn't the Doctor Who we knew. Where he was usually at odds with the Time War in the classic series, the Time Lords in the classic series. So finding out that, you know, he was the last of them, and that obviously there was some kind of war, we don't get more details than that, but we know it's a game changer and that this is a lot different than what we're used to in Doctor Who, and that was really neat. And you could tell it affected him. I liked the guest characters. We got to see the face of Bo for the first time. He's not really featured much, and he doesn't really talk, but it's a nice introduction to him when we see him later, how they tie that back in. And then, of course, Cassandra's interesting, because Cassandra is a great look at what prejudice can do to somebody, because she believes she's the last pure human, even though she's pretty much a trampoline at this point. You know, she's just a little piece of skin. She's had so much work done to stay alive to her. You know, is she even human anymore? But she still believes she's the only pure human, because everyone else is kind of mingled with other races. It's 5 billion years in the future. And that prejudice that, you know, which very much mirrors even modern day today, but especially our past. It's interesting to see what prejudice can motivate people to do, and the evil, bad, negative consequences of that. I think are really well explored here. I love when sci-fi can make commentary on current social issues, like Star Trek was so famous for doing. Doctor Who did that as well at times, and I think this is a really good example here. So I think it was a great episode. I think there's a lot going on. It definitely had me gripped the whole time. I love season 1 of the new series. I think it's one of the best seasons, and I think it's one of the reasons why the show caught on as well as it did. I think they owe a lot of that to Russell, to Chris, to Billy, and to all of the people involved. The music in the episode was also really, really good. So, this was Season 1, Episode 2, The End of the World. It's a fantastic episode. It's the best word I can think of to describe it. Don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what you think of the review. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. Also, if you're interested in Star Wars, you can check out my other channel, Prowl1701, PROWL 1701, where I review Star Wars lightsaber hilts, high-end ones. And most importantly, thank you for watching.